Today, we're unpacking an offer for the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. Right off the bat,
Okay.
they hit you with this $150 bonus. It's everywhere.
Right.
And of course, there's the unlimited 1.5% cash back.
Yeah,
It all seems too good to be true, right?
it does.
What am I missing here?
Well, that $150 bonus usually comes with strings attached.
Okay.
In this case, you need to spend at least $500 in the first 3 months to qualify.
Ah,
They bury that little detail in the fine print.
sneaky.
Also, this offer is only for people who haven't snagged a similar bonus for this card in the past 2 years. So if you're a frequent credit card bonus chaser,
Yeah, right.
this one might not be for you.
Ah, so they get you with the big numbers, but the details tell a different story.
Mm-hmm.
What about that 1.5% cash back? Is that actually competitive these days?
1.5% back on everything is a decent starting point, but
Yeah,
honestly, it's
right.
pretty standard these days.
Okay.
There are cards out there offering 2% cash back on all purchases,
Wow.
and some even offer higher rates in specific spending categories.
Speaking of which, this offer boasts always earning with higher cashback rates on dining and travel. 3% on dining and drugstores,
Okay.
and a juicy 5% on travel booked through Chase.
Oh, nice.
Are these rates as good as they sound,
Okay,
or
thank
is
you.
there a catch?
Higher cash back categories are becoming increasingly common as credit card companies try to attract customers.
Right,
However, these categories often have limitations.
such as.
For instance, with the 5% back on travel, you'll want to check exactly what qualifies as travel booked through Chase.
Okay.
Does it include booking directly with an airline or hotel? Or are you limited to using Chase's own travel portal?
Oh, I see.
Those details can make a big difference in how much you actually earn back.
I'm starting to see a pattern here. Big promises up front, but the real value depends on understanding the fine print.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they're speaking a secret language.
Yeah.
Now, on to the part that always makes my head spin. The APR.
Oh, boy.
They offer a 0% intro APR for 15 months on purchases and balance transfers.
Okay.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But then it jumps to a variable APR between 20.49% and 29.24%.
Right.
So free money for a year and a half, and then bam.
That's a pretty common tactic.
Mm.
Lull you in with that 0% intro APR, which, by the way, is pretty standard these days,
Really?
and then hit you with the higher rate once the introductory period ends.
Gotcha.
And let's not forget, those are variable rates.
Variable.
Yeah.
So they could go even higher.
Absolutely.
Tell me more about how that works.
Well, a variable APR means that the interest rate can fluctuate based on a benchmark interest rate, like the prime rate.
Okay.
So when
Yep.
the prime rate goes up, so does your APR,
Right.
which means you end up paying more in interest charges.
Okay. That's something to consider, especially since they keep reminding me there's no annual fee for this card. Do most cards still have annual fees? I feel like I haven't seen one in ages.
You're right. Many cards these days, especially those geared towards cashback or rewards, are ditching the annual fee.
Interesting.
It's a way to attract budget-conscious consumers.
Okay.
But remember, a no annual fee card isn't always the best deal.
Yeah.
Those cards often have lower rewards rates
Right.
or fewer perks compared to their fee-charging counterparts.
It's a balancing act, then weighing the cost of an annual fee against the potential benefits and rewards.
Exactly.
So far, we've covered the bonus, the cashback rates, that APR roller coaster, and the fact that this card won't cost you anything up front. What else is buried in this treasure trove of fine print?
Let's delve into the additional tools and benefits section next.
Okay.
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay, so we're venturing into the land of additional tools and benefits.
Uh-huh.
What treasures await us here? One that caught my eye is the claim that cashback rewards do not expire as long as your account is open.
Right.
That sounds pretty standard, doesn't it?
It's becoming increasingly common, actually.
Okay.
It's another way credit card companies are trying to compete for customers like you.
Right.
But you're right to point out the caveat. As long as your account is open,
Right.
close the account,
Yeah.
and those rewards likely vanish. They want to keep you engaged and using their card.
Makes sense. They dangle those rewards to keep you hooked. Okay, what else have we got? They highlight this Chase credit journey, which lets you monitor your credit for free. Honestly, with so many free credit score websites out there,
Yeah.
is this even a selling point anymore?
It's true that free credit score access is widely available,
Okay.
but this Chase credit journey is more about credit monitoring,
Okay.
which goes a step further.
Okay.
It's like having a watchdog for your credit report.
Right.
constantly on the lookout for suspicious activity like someone trying to open an account in your name.
So it's less about checking your credit score every now and then and
Yeah.
more about getting those real-time alerts if something fishy is going on.
Exactly.
Okay.
Think of it like a security system for your credit. Early detection is key when it comes to identity theft and fraud.
Right. Plus, some credit monitoring services like this one also provide tools and resources to help you understand and improve your credit score, which can be incredibly valuable in the long run.
Okay, credit monitoring, got it. Back to the cashback for a sec. They keep saying earn unlimited 1.5% cashback on everything.
Right.
But is there actually a limit on how much cashback you can earn in a year?
That's a great question. Some cards do have annual caps on cashback,
Okay.
but this offer doesn't mention any limits.
Okay.
So you should earn 1.5% back on every dollar you spend, regardless of how much you charge.
Okay.
Of course, that assumes you're paying your balance in full each month.
Which, speaking of, reminds me of that APR jump after the introductory period.
Right. It makes you wonder, how do credit card companies make money if they're giving away all this cash back and not even charging annual fees?
That's the heart of their business model.
Uh-huh.
While they do earn revenue from merchant fees, every time you use your card,
Okay.
their real profits come from those who carry a balance and accrue interest charges.
Oh, okay.
Remember that variable APR we discussed earlier?
Right.
That's where they get you if you're not careful.
So it all boils down to being responsible with your spending and paying off that balance in full each month.
Yes.
Otherwise, that cash back and those perks are quickly overshadowed by those hefty interest charges.
Absolutely. A credit card should be a tool for convenience and rewards, not a source of debt.
Preach. Now, let's zoom in on some of these higher cashback categories. Specifically, the 3% back on dining, which they say includes eligible delivery services. What's considered eligible? Is it a free-for-all, or are there restrictions?
That's where they often get you with the fine print.
Right.
This particular offer doesn't specify which delivery services qualify.
Oh, okay.
You'd likely have to dig deeper on their website or contact customer service for a definitive list.
Okay.
They might have partnerships with certain brands or platforms.
So it's not as simple as ordering your favorite takeout through any app and calling it a day.
Right.
You really have to do your homework to maximize those rewards.
Precisely. It highlights a crucial point when comparing credit card offers.
Okay.
Don't just focus on those flashy headline numbers.
Yeah.
Delve into the details, understand the specific categories and limitations,
Right.
and see how well they align with your actual spending habits.
Solid advice. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. Cashback, APRs, credit monitoring, the importance of reading the fine print.
A lot.
What other hidden gems are we unearthing in this deep dive?
Well, one detail often overlooked is the impact of promotional periods,
Okay.
especially when it comes to balance transfers.
Right. This offer mentions a 0% intro APR on both purchases and balance transfers.
Yeah.
What's the catch there? What's the catch there?
Well, while that 0% introductory APR on balance transfers can seem like a great way to consolidate debt,
Right.
there are some potential pitfalls to watch out for.
Okay.
Sometimes the 0% introductory APR only applies to purchases made during that period.
Right.
If you're transferring a balance, there might be a different and potentially higher APR applied.
Ah, so you could get hit with unexpected interest charges if you're not careful. It's like a bait and switch tactic.
Exactly. That's why it's essential to read the fine print
Right.
and make sure you understand the terms for both purchases and balance transfers during any promotional period.
It seems like every time we peel back a layer of this offer, we find even more things to consider.
Yeah,
It definitely highlights the importance of being an informed consumer.
absolutely. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a seemingly great offer,
Right.
but taking the time to understand all the terms and conditions can save you a lot of frustration
For sure.
and potentially money in the long run.
Speaking of which, let's circle back to something we touched upon earlier.
Yeah.
The fact that this card's cashback does not expire as long as your account is open.
Yep.
It sounds great on the surface, but what's the nuance there?
You're right to be discerning.
Okay.
While it's true that the cashback itself doesn't have an expiration date,
Yep.
as long as you keep your account in good standing,
Right.
there's an important detail to remember.
Okay.
Credit card companies can change the terms of their rewards programs.
So even though my cashback might not expire, they could change how much those rewards are worth down the line.
Precisely. They could increase the number of points needed to redeem for a particular reward,
Right.
or even change the types of rewards offered. That's why it's important not to hoard your cash back indefinitely.
Okay.
It's generally a good idea to redeem your rewards regularly
Right.
to lock in their current value.
That makes a lot of sense. Don't get caught off guard by changes down the line. Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We've explored the ins and outs of this credit card offer, from those eye-catching bonuses and cashback rates to the potential traps hidden in the fine print.
It's a lot to consider.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up,
Yeah.
what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember when navigating the world of credit card offers?
It's simple. Knowledge is your best defense.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Right.
Read the fine print
Mm-hmm.
and compare different offers before making a decision.
And remember, the best credit card for you is the one that aligns with your individual spending habits and financial goals. This deep dive wasn't about telling you which card to choose, but rather giving you the tools and knowledge to make those decisions confidently.
Exactly. Being an informed consumer empowers you to make choices that serve you best.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of credit card offers.